Last year, my friends and I started our playthrough of the Mega Man franchise with the X series. The first 4 games varied in quality slightly, but other than X3, were all pretty great. However, the rest of the X series is a pretty stark drop-off in quality. You're watching Rayl Deal Games, and today, my friends and I are starting our process through the mainline Mega Man titles by going back through time all the way to 1987. This year, I plan to cover loads of Capcom's work, from the rest of the mainline Mega Man titles, older Street Fighter games, Okami, Monster Hunter Wilds, and others. I release new gaming videos every single Friday, and if you like this video, subscribing and ringing the notification bell is the only way to not miss out on my future work. With all of that established, let's dive right in with a brief word on Mega Man X8. After X4, I stopped making individual reviews for the X series because I disliked the game so much that I couldn't finish any of them. Mega Man X8, which didn't show up in last Friday's video, also falls into this category, although it was closer to being something my friends and I would be willing to play to completion. With Mega Man X8, many of the levels were almost great. Some of them just needed less spike traps and to be a bit shorter, or barring that, the levels needed mid-checkpoints like X4 does. Some of the game's elements were pretty cool, such as the armor pieces and multiple playable characters, but I wasn't a big fan of the bosses, and even though the Sigma stages aren't too bad, the Maverick stages are pretty lackluster, especially the Gravity, Antonian, Gigabolt Manowar, and Optic Sunflower levels. Some, like Dark Mantises, were interesting, but the number of good levels and fun bosses is extremely low in comparison to X, X2, and X4. It is for this reason that we couldn't finish this game and decided to move on to the mainline series, and guys, this was a good decision because Mega Man, the first game in the franchise, is surprisingly great. How about we start talking about why with our first Robot Master pick, Bomb Man. During the recording of this video, I had lost my voice, which is why I sound the way I do in the clips you all will be seeing today.
This is going to be combined with the X8 video together. End of one series into the other. So it's gonna roll over.
We made an X8 video and you're like, this is bullshit, so you're not gonna make it. So how is this gonna be different?
Because this game should be fun. So
we shall see.
I'm a little voiceless right now. This is the sacrifices I make for all of you out there. That I get to talk and it feels like razor blades are ripping up my throat every single second.
Have you been eating that honey?
Yeah. The 1980s were a different era for game design, where unique ideas and gameplay loops could flourish. The first Mega Man wasn't a standout financial success, but games back then didn't need to be to get a sequel, and thank goodness for that. In this video, my friends John and Ryan will be joining me.
John? Is his name?
Yes, I am John. Fuck you.
What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
He doesn't know this guy.
It's Ryan, I think.
Best intro ever.
The real standovers from when I had 30 subscribers know who Ryan is from old videos.
Maybe one or two of them.
Yeah, one or two of them.
The OGs.
I love playing games with these guys because almost as soon as we booted up Bomb Man's level, we all had the same exact thought about the backdrop of this stage.
Cloud City.
Ah, Star Wars.
Star Wars ripoff.
Star Wars.
It's actually possible.
Since we're coming from the X series, there's a few mechanics we learned for the first time in this game. And the key one is that Mega Man is only able to shoot out 3 pellets, 3 luminescent lemons, on screen at any given time. As soon as they've despawned, the player is able to shoot out more. This is definitely a technical limitation of the time period, and if I had to guess, having more pellets than that on screen would either break the game or cause massive slowdown. This is something that shows up a bit in the X series too, as there are certain sections such as the minecart ride at the end of Armored Armadillo stage, where if the player shoots too many times, the game experiences a severe frame rate dip. This restriction is actually going to matter in a future boss fight, and my friends and I were able to use this bit of knowledge to our advantage several times over the course of our playthrough. In terms of mobility options, there's no dash or slide, which is something Mega Man 11 has, so I'm interested to see when that gets added to the franchise as my friends and I play more and more Mega Man titles. John was especially sad about the missing wall jump, which started in the X sub-series because he's never played a Mega Man title without it. Fortunately, the level design of the game is clearly designed with this restriction in mind, so we never got to the point where we felt like the mechanic was missing or needed to be here.
Nothing to scream at or be funny. It's just kind of like a video game.
It's a good video game so far.
As Ryan says, this first level is so benign that there weren't any crazy funny pop-off moments, like John and I had in X3 or X4. It's kind of ironic how hard and sometimes blatantly unfair game mechanics causes games to be more fun to play with friends, because there's more to laugh and meme about. But don't worry, dear viewer, those moments will be coming so soon.
Brian versus a clam. Brian loses.
I died first, revealing the fact that Mega Man has a checkpointing system. While it was becoming more common by 1987, it's still pretty novel seeing an 80s game with checkpoints. I also really like the way this game's screen slides at times, instead of relying exclusively on those rough switches between frames.
Mega Man, video games didn't have a lot to work with back then.
Ryan specifically talking about the Shield Boy here and how John is able to interact with said enemy, but this is a sentiment I've heard many times over the years. In a vacuum separate from what Ryan is specifically referring to, I categorically disagree with the implications of this statement. It's sometimes what I hear online as an argument against classic games in general, and it's flawed in a few ways. Games from the 80s and 90s are typically more creative than loads of modern ones, partially because of their limited scope and hardware plus software restrictions. I would say it was actually to the benefit of vintage game design that these restrictions exist, because it forced developers to find clever workarounds for limited memory, space, and design ideas. Once at Bomb Man, John killed him with ease, meaning we accidentally found the best first boss in the game. So far, Mega Man isn't too hard, and I like the way the designers used the tools they had available to create an experience that is incredibly different from the other platforming juggernauts of the time, Mario, Contra, and Castlevania. Since John killed Bomb Man, the controller goes to Ryan because we pass on death or the successful completion of a boss to make this game a couch co-op experience. Ryan chose Iceman as our follow-up, and his rationale is as follows.
What do you think Bomb Man would be good against?
He's good at breaking the ice, of course.
Wouldn't Fireman be good against
Yeah,
Iceman?
go ahead and split it.
Shut the fuck up!
Aren't you supposed to be a person who's always trying to fucking metagame? That's your shit. 2 tracks.
It's not gonna be the most logical thing, it's gonna be the second most logical thing. That's how Mega Man works.
No, we would just play a whole bunch of Mega Man X, and it's like half the time doesn't even make fucking sense.
Is Ryan's logic flawed? Does John have the right idea? Let's find out. Something I really like about the first Mega Man title is the variety of enemy design. Iceman's stage demonstrates this right away.
That's fine, we got it.
Okay.
What's it gonna have? A little old school?
Oh my god, he's terrifying!
Oh no!
Oh my, does top half just come after you?
Now, I've always really liked ice levels in platformers, and as we played through this level, this is something my friends and I discussed further. We all like the slippery, smooth platforming on these sorts of levels, and Ryan pointed out that they are fun in racing games too, which makes a lot of sense since it would add depth to the drifting mechanics in that genre. Did Nintendo get the idea for bullet bills from this game? The penguins in this stage and the missiles in the other stages are very similar, and while I am jesting with this question, I would be interested in seeing what game designed this sort of enemy first. Something Mega Man titles do that I love is the atmospheric storytelling present in the backdrops. It's clear Iceman froze over this beach, making him a true, real villain. How dare he take away fun in the sun in this way? Even worse than this is some of the tricky platforming present in this stage, especially the disappearing blocks parts.
What the fuck? Okay, so I need to focus on this actually. Goes there, you jump top there, you jump to the right, you jump up before it spawns? Yes. Is that what they expect you to fucking do?
Yes.
These sections are about memorizing the order the platforms appear in, a mechanic Mega Man reuses a couple of times. At the bottom is a bladed Roomba that is the doom of this section of Iceman's level. Later, Ryan discovered that this Roomba could be despawned by just getting him off screen.
It disappeared.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you do? Why do you have easy mode? Fuck Fuck you!
The memory in NES games was so low and bad that the game couldn't even remember that he was there, which makes the second one of these incredibly easy by comparison. In this way, Mega Man is a perfect example of how 1980s games could actually be broken messes at times. It's just in this instance the bug is a feature that functions in the player's benefit, so it's not something anyone cares about. After this is the propeller platforming section, which is by far the hardest part of this level, and the section that killed us in real life the most. It was at this point that we used the save states feature of the Legacy Collection for the first time, because we were burning too much time on this section.
Alright. So we got choices. We can keep replaying the level, or I save right here. We have full lives right now.
Save.
Okay.
I'm not willing to play this shit over and over again.
Okay.
Turning our gamer badges for content.
Yeah, we are.
But doing this actually boosted our enjoyment of this section drastically, and set us down the path of nearly rupturing our diaphragms under the pressure. Let's roll the montage.
I made it.
Now it's time for the worst part of the level.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This part is not.
Do we have to fucking wait for a good sign? You passed through it! And you have to start. Oh. Fuck you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And then make sure you go to load.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't. I was standing on him. Ew, Brian.
We've been cursed.
A lot of Pac-Man clones, some of them very interesting.
God, this game hates you.
I don't even,
I jumped on the damn dude.
I looked away for like literally a millisecond. It was over.
Well, I watched this. Ryan jumped perfectly, and then the platform's like, nope, and he died.
Hey, same.
Oh my fucking god, this game's brutal. Time for me to have that happen.
It's all fun and games until the laws of physics stop working.
Is that...
That was fair. That was a fair death.
That was a fair death.
It was, but it's funny because it's the same exact way.
Bullets inside the platform, so he phased. Why were you so fast when you fell? That was the fastest death.
Can you write down the time for that?
57-ish, yeah.
Goku gets depressed and instant transmissions himself to death.
Skip me.
Straight to the sun.
You actually did that at the show, dude. Because they teleport the cell to the planet, it blows up. Oh, that was good.
You're gonna die.
Fucking teleports to his death. You just can't. we
Focus.
Every attempt is getting worse. Gamers, lock in.
It's time for Brian to learn some sign language, so he's got the second game.
Oh my god.
I can't.
Oh, this is such
Ryan, please get us out of this
Game.
purgatory.
This is
Ryan! It'll never end.
Oh my god. This is such a good game. Oh, Jesus.
We would not have been able to do this shit.
This is
Lock
such a
in.
good game.
Fucking say that I died.
Lock
last time.
in.
Why you always say when I'm here?
Gamers, lock in.
Oh my god, it's such a good game.
Gamer, lock in.
Oh.
Oh!
God, I can't do it anymore.
We got it.
Go get some honey.
Oh my god.
Smell some fucking honey.
Go breathe, Brian.
Brian's just dying.
Whatever.
Do you really want to play this level?
I had a chance. I was doing
Yeah,
okay.
he was doing okay.
That doesn't answer the question. Do you really want to do
This is a good game. Fuck you.
I actually do think this is a good game. It's
Shut up,
funny.
editor slave.
Shut
Shut up, text slave.
I don't understand
Shout text.
the out of this.
Will we learn our lesson? Find out next time on Mega Man.
I need
Fucking
a,
Mega
need a
Man.
picture.
What? Come on, man. This is getting harder. The programming is changing rapidly.
God, it happened again.
It happens. These things happen in these games.
Right. Ryan both die! I don't even care!
Lock in, gamer.
I can't get that.
To my death I go.
I can't get over
Wait, okay.
I can't get over it.
Brian's
We're all
broken.
good.
We broke Brian officially.
Gamers. Lock it. Hey!
And now for something completely different.
After we had finally made it through this hellish section, we made it to Iceman. Since we had Bomb Man's power, we tried that first, but as expected, it didn't do anything.
I want to see
I like it just it was the mouth and he's like, woo woo, I'm a train. Woo woo. I like how like literally it's just an Eskimo. You're just fighting it. This is a man. This is not a robot. This is literally you just killing a man.
Dude, I bleed. Stop.
Stuck.
You die in 3 hits. Here you go.
Yes, yeah. This is,
While we didn't want to use the save states that often, it was at this point where we kind of threw that personal rule to the wind, because we really just wanted to be able to fight Iceman over and over without needing to replay the stage. As time went on, the devilish difficulty of Mega Man we had all heard about became too obvious to ignore, meaning it was to the benefit of our sanity that we used these features. For example, Iceman kills us in 3 hits. It is entirely possible that he is designed in this way because the Capcom developers wanted, expected, and were pushing players to engage with the weakness system in Mega Man. Something unique to Mega Man at the time of its release, and to some extent still to this day, is the way it allows players to approach the boss order however they choose. It's one of the key reasons I love this franchise so much, because there's a natural replayability to being able to approach the games in a different order each time. While fighting Iceman, I realized that staggering Mega Blaster bolts was the best way to approach this fight because it allowed me to keep up sustained, consistent damage. The first time I killed Iceman, because yes, we would kill him many times, I died to his ice spike after he was dead, which is something the developers would change about this series very quickly because it was quite unfair.
Lock in, gamer. Lock in. Okay.
I died.
No.
and the funny thing is, when you here's the funny thing. When you died, you immediately lost control, right? You couldn't keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. So you have to have 2 hits left.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
You're allowed 1 hit of damage.
I'm just going to point out that I should have won. Here you go, John. It works. Just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You deal more damage.
There's an input stun at the moment of his death, meaning there's a handful of frames where you're not actually able to escape his incoming hailfire of ice spikes. John gave up, leaving the boss to Ryan and myself. And well, let's just cue the Iceman kill montage.
Oh,
I'm dead. Oh, I almost had it. I got my power back at the last second. You can jump after you hit him, but you can't do it the exact frame you hit him. So you have to time it so it's like right now and then jump. Oh, okay.
He's put something. He's put most things have a thing.
Oh, god dang it. Shut up. Shut up. I did it.
You got it.
Unfortunately.
There's
No,
only,
there's no
there's
thing.
only 6 bosses in this game, but John killed 1 and I killed 18. That was 5 successful.
If only you actually fucking killed him.
Hey, well, if we
Iceman.
don't want to count that,
Iceman.
I'm still tied for kills with you, John.
This is such funny.
My boss was harder.
Fuck you, man. Okay, I got on the first try, bro.
That still only counts as 1.
This is why I've loved doing this Mega Man review series, even if they don't get as many views as some of my other work. It's just fun to experience things like this with my friends. Iceman's level was the truest highlight of the game, but it's not like it was the only good part, as Elec Man offered a similar number of funny moments. Elec Man's stage is okay. It reminds me of Boomer Kawanger's level in Mega Man X, except a little worse. The disappearing platform puzzle mechanic from Iceman's level returns here.
No!
Hurry, lock in!
I tried to play the game well. It said no.
That's genius.
Oh my fucking god, this level's brutal. This is so much better than a lot of the Mega Man X.
This is an easy level.
It's better than the second half of that series, yeah.
I specifically had so much trouble with these sections, as I constantly would fall multiple frames down.
No!
To the abyss with you. Shoot, shoot! Okay. Brian's
This is my first time doing this part.
Okay.
I still, like, you were well saying what happened, but this shit happened to me. That was a nightmare.
This is my first time doing this part.
All we have to do is shoot to the left and right, dumb shit. Look,
Ryan is always there to support us, but
I haven't done this before. You've seen us just shoot these people. Just shoot them. Just shoot people.
Nobody did it the way
You
I
have
did
one
it.
power. You have one thing you can do as Mega Man: jump and shoot.
that's the thing. Like, literally, like you're born with a gun attached to you.
What do I do against the green thing? You shoot them. Shoot them. Shoot them.
You see this?
Shoot. Left. Shoot left. Left. Shoot. Okay. Left. Damn, that's hard as fuck.
Oh my god, Brian's dying. Oh my god.
Okay. This is a trap. This one.
It really is. No! No! Oh my god!
Shoot them. Shoot them. Shoot them. Shoot.
Oh my god! I can't. What is this shit? Oh my god! I'm gonna have nightmares about this.
Shoot left.
Oh my god!
Just don't fall right, whatever you do.
I'm staying to the left on purpose.
One day you'll get it. Nice. Oh.
God damn it! God damn it!
God
damn it! God damn it!
Oh my fucking god! It's just suffering. I can do it.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, says Ryan.
It's not that bad. Just
There is one collectible in this stage, but we couldn't access it yet because we were missing a power to move the blocks entrapping it. By this point, it became clear that these big bouncing enemies would protect each boss door, and I'm not a big fan of them, as they are super hard to kill and avoid. In this stage, John actually got himself trapped so that he couldn't escape without resetting the area.
Well, I think you're in a bad spot.
you can time it. He's gonna smush your head. Oh.
Ryan, start from the beginning.
I'll take us both.
Fucking asshole. You said it, he did it. He was listening to you.
When we got to Elec Man, we scum-saved again, and at this point we just cast our honor aside because these levels are tough, man. Game overing at this point on the level would cause us to lose 10 minutes, which we just didn't have to spare, especially since we planned to play Mega Man 2 right afterwards.
Guileless playthrough. Scum saves abound.
Technically still guidance.
We're all about technicalities here.
On Elec Man, we tried the Ice and Bomb powers, but Elec Man was not weak to either. Iceman's power actually dealt 0 damage to him, which retrospectively is potentially a clue that Elec Man's power is powerful against Iceman. It's something I didn't notice before reviewing the footage, and it would be a cool detail of this game's design if that were a true mechanic. At this point, my voice was long gone.
Oh, great and powerful sage. What do you say?
Go ahead and do the bomb, Ryan. Do the bomb.
At least I'm brave enough to try. He's too fast for it.
It's almost like we could see that coming.
Look, it did.
It did 2 pips of damage.
I just wanted to see.
And you saw.
Like you saw! Master Rayl, what do you think? Fierce little
It's okay. It's easy, Ryan. You just gotta play the game. You just gotta shoot left.
I didn't get to try.
Yes, you did.
There's no try! Yes, you did!
Like the evil witches that are just like passing one eyeball back and forth.
It was at this point we revised our controller trading policy to allow each of us to have 2 attempts at Elec Man before trading. This felt like a good solution to the big issue of not having enough time to learn the mechanics of the bosses in this game before dying. Elec Man constantly tries to run right into Mega Man, which at first looks very unfair, but he's actually very learnable.
We play Mega Man this way!
Well, I'm Mega Man.
Why,
I'm
though?
Mega Man.
Look, he just
Because
runs at you and he just throws his little fucking thing. There's nothing to learn. There's nothing to relearn.
better
We've
video!
learned nothing. We've learned nothing. Look at him.
You've learned
Look,
nothing.
he just jumped.
Essentially, the way it works is that you are trying to play keep away from him by getting him to jump into your lemons. Doing so will bounce him off of the higher platform. Eventually, Ryan wanted to give up, but I wasn't having it. The tech slave of the channel, Jeremy, pointed out that it was like that scene from Shrek where Gingy was scared to lose his gumdrop buttons.
No, not the buttons! Not my gumdrop button!
Everybody
There's
else-
nothing to relearn.
Everybody
I'm
else
choosing
is
a new
learning.
level.
No,
I'm choosing
no,
a new level.
no,
I'm choosing.
It's like let's do a child and get punished.
You get no more tries.
It's like a Muppet begging for
You're in
his life.
timeout. You're in timeout, Ryan. No. You get no more tries.
Telling a child he's not getting a Happy Meal. No.
We gotta break Ryan out of his giving up.
No, not the gumdrop button.
Anything but that.
Oh, relatable.
Not the gumdrop buttons. Not the stage select screen.
There's no worse fate for Brian right now.
Please choose a new level.
We're not doing it. We're cutting Ryan out of turds. He can't be trusted.
He can't be trusted. He's not one of us.
John ended up killing Elec Man, putting him up 1 boss kill above me, much to my absolute chagrin.
It's a competition. John and I are 1-1 right now.
Brian, you're actually like 8-1, but
No!
don't count.
He got it before me.
After Elec Man, John and I decided to do Fireman next, because Ryan was still in timeout.
Stare. That's such a
That's
fucking.
fucking autistic as fuck.
Makes sense.
That's so fucking funny.
Not the
Brian
gumdrop
watching
button.
its distance and horrors me and Brian bash our heads into a brick and he's just like, stop! And we're just like, no!
Fireman Stage is my favorite level of the game thus far because it was just a pleasant level, with some great design elements. It's not quite as easy as Bomb Man Stage, but it's far more fair than Iceman's. I especially love the way the fireball enemies work, as they shoot up into the sky and come falling back down. It's a cool, unique feature of the enemy and shows an attention to detail by the Capcom developers. The flame vent section is an interesting part in the ways that it shows Capcom started experimenting with platforming gameplay design beyond jumping. This requires a timed run through the vent, which is a fairly unique idea for the time. I'm not going to pretend like Capcom is the first to come up with something like this, especially since the fire wheels exist in Super Mario Bros., but it's definitely something that stood out in this level and among the 80s games I've played. Now, I have historically vibed with the fire levels in these Mega Man games, as Flame Mammoth and Magma Dragoon stages are my favorites from their respective games. This is not necessarily true of all platformers though, because I usually am pretty partial to ice levels, as I've mentioned previously. Fireman took us only slightly longer than Bomb Man, making him the second easiest boss in the game so far, especially since he is super weak to Iceman's power. This really shows the intentional design of Capcom here. They really wanted players to discover the weaknesses of bosses before attempting to kill them, but they still made all of the bosses beatable without those weaknesses. It is cool to see something like this in the 80s, especially since most games were really restrictive in their design. It's why there can be a recommended boss order to Mega Man games too, as Capcom developers made certain levels easier than others, and this scaffolds the game design. You can usually tell which levels are intended to be first levels for players to complete because of the nice difficulty curve these games are typically framed around. That being said, I like the way my friends and I have been going through the games, where we pick a level and just beat our head against it until we make it through, like we did with Iceman's level. It makes our experiences with the games way more memorable in the long run. Gutsman's level is the first time the Mets show up in a Mega Man game, and they are legit my favorite enemies from these games because they are hella cute. The first real hurdle of Gutsman's level is this conveyor belt puzzle that is a bit challenging and definitely killed us over and over again. Overall, his level and boss fight aren't too bad though. Beyond the conveyor belt, this level gets really interesting. There's this falling section where there's a spike trap at the bottom, which is a bit of mean trial and error design, but it only killed us one time, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Gutsman is weak to Bomb Man's power, so we killed him literally so fast. He died so fast, I doubt he even saw the light from each bomb's explosion. After we figured out what Gutsman's power is, we went back for the collectible on Elec Man stage. That collectible unlocks a power for Mega Man's Mega Buster that allows us to make platforms, which is a super cool idea and concept. However, I'm not a fan of how the mechanic is utilized in the Wily Stages, which is something we'll be talking about later. It is cool that Capcom lets you keep the power without finishing Elec Man's level, which is how all of the later Mega Man games approach collectible hunting too. I like that you can see how the developers were really trying to make a good, fun game, while also fitting in with the anti-renting meta of 1980s game design. After this, we went on to Cut Man. Cutman's level is pretty good. There's this machine that shoots out little silver Pac-Mans that are actually supposed to be blades, but it's funny how similar they look to that yellow banana boy. The smiling helicopter things suck so hard, but after we got past that part, the rest of the level is pretty easy. Fireman's power is sweet on this level because it helps with dealing with things immediately above Mega Man's head, making me so happy we did Cutman's level last. It really feels like his level is designed with the idea of getting the player used to weapon swapping. This is why I learned the weapons in this game are so useful, which has not always been the case in the Mega Man games I've reviewed on the channel. It's kind of funny that we killed Gutsman right before Cutman because he is so weak to Gutsman's power. He dies in 2 hits, which is insane. With Cutman cut into tiny itty bitty whittle pieces, it's time to get to the worst part of Mega Man games, the final boss gauntlets, and in the mainline games these are the Wily Stages. The first Wily stage is designed around utilizing all of the Robot Master powers. In this way, Mega Man demands the player demonstrate their knowledge, even recreating the propeller platformer part of Iceman's stage, this time over spikes. It was here that we realized the way X games allocate power pickups to unfilled weapon tanks doesn't exist in this game. You have to have the right weapon equipped in order for the refill to do anything, which punished us a few times until we got used to it. It was also in this stage where the power-up from Elec Man stage is required to progress, as you have to use it to create platforms to reach the exit door of a room. This would be fine, except for the fact that if you don't have enough charge, you actually can't complete the stage. This is complete tosh and is absolutely garbage game design. At the end of the stage is the thing that stopped many children from being able to beat this game in a weekend: the Yellow Devil. The Yellow Devil is a devilishly hard boss, and our first encounter with this boss in Mega Man X5 wasn't good either. He has insanely tight windows of counterattack opportunity, and he's borderline impossible to defeat without save states. I know he's learnable and beatable because he follows a set designed attack pattern, but even when we knew that, it was still super difficult to get through. This is when we started using the rewind feature the Legacy Collection provides, and this was wild, because even when I could rewind, I still died over and over again because there's only one way to get through without taking damage. This would have taken me so long to do legitimately. We spent 1 hour doing nothing but fighting this guy, and I won't lie, I saved, scummed, rewinded, and did everything in my power just to get past this guy. I am not being hyperbolic hyperbolic when I say that beating the Yellow Devil legitimately is way more difficult than pre-patch Promised Consort Radon, Orphan of Kos, Sword Saint Ishan, Melania, and Lawrence all at the same time. I would bet everything that Yellow Devil is the reason the first Mega Man has the reputation that it does. I would have done this legitimately if and only if I was getting paid to do so. But since this video is going to make me one solitary nickel, if I'm lucky, I don't feel bad about using these features at all.
I'm going insane.
Mega Man's just like, let me die!
He did it.
I feel not bad about this at all.
Oh no. Whenever a game gives me a bullshit thing, I'm like, you're not gonna respect me, I'm not gonna respect you.
This sums up our thoughts on the first Mega Man quite well.
This is the same cycle I got stuck in a little bit ago. See this?
You're like, oh my god, they expect you to be able to do this. They really do. Like every time you die like 2 or 3 times, you have to go through the entire level again just to get to them.
Kids got one game for Christmas, and when you get this one, you gotta sit here and play this.
Yeah, it's gonna last you till next Christmas, probably 3 Christmases.
You want to never play video games again.
No, I don't think that was the case, because clearly I got people liked it enough.
Well, you know, still, like I said, this is better than every other game coming up.
Yeah, you know, but fucking damn.
Contra, Final Fantasy, Genghis Khan, Metal Gear, and Rad Racer are all better games that came out that same year, so I don't agree that this was better than everything coming out, but the point Ryan is making is that it's still better than most of the games released in 1987, which is probably true. Less games released each year back in those days, and the NES was loaded with things we'd call shovelware quality these days. Our impression of Wily Stage 2 was definitely harmed by Yellow Devil, and at this point we no longer cared about honor, as we just wanted to get to the end. I was too vindictive to care. This is the first half of the boss rush step of the game, a feature of Mega Man that would show up in every title following it, that I've played so far anyway. We knew some of the weaknesses already, such as Gutsman being weak to bombs, Cutman being weak to Gutsman's boulder slinging power, Fireman being weak to Iceman's ice spikes, but it was here that we learned that Elec Man is weak to Cutman's blades. From here, we had to fight a copy of ourselves, which was kind of a cool idea for a boss at first, but in application, it really sucked. The Mimic Tier Mega Man follows the same programming pattern as Elec Man, where he tries to jump on the player. The difference is that this time it's harder to keep him off because there's no high ground to compete for. John killed him and would later accidentally load a save from before the fight, meaning we had to kill him twice on this stage, which was kind of a funny punishment for using the save states feature of the Legacy Collection. He marks the end of the stage, meaning the rest of the Robot Masters are in a future stage. The third Wily stage is mostly unremarkable except for the bubble enemy things at the end. They're pretty annoying, but Ryan killed them while John and I got some snacks. It's on Wily Stage 4 where we can see Wily is mass producing the Robot Masters, as there's this section you go through where Gutsmans are being made in mass. This stage is where the rest of the repeat Robot Master boss fights are, and by fighting them again, we would learn that Bomb Man is weak to Fireman's weapon, which makes sense since it's like you're setting off his fuse. I actually like this concept for this weakness interaction. Iceman is weak to Elec Man, which I guess makes sense because of ice just being solidified water. I can understand the idea there at least. Something I didn't notice about Gutsman before is the way he stuns the player whenever he lands, which is a cool aspect of his boss fight. I like this about the boss rush steps of these games because it always means I get to learn some of the boss mechanics I didn't get to notice the first time fighting them, either because I didn't fight them personally or because they didn't use certain moves against me. Afterwards, you have to fight Wily in his mech, which is weak to lightning. He's a very doable boss, and really the worst thing about him is the way he follows up such an insane boss gauntlet with no chance for respite or resource refills. There's actually this way of basically walking with the boss for free damage, which is how we started getting through the first phase consistently. The second phase is weak to Cutman's boomerang power, and his blaster shoots in a circle that, as long as you walk into the globe at just the right moment, can be dodged every time.
Everyone loves this super giant range spinny blast. That's a great move.
You can run at him and it just naturally puts you under it, but you have to like be ready every time. Look at this. So
It doesn't work every
see,
time.
It's not a consistent strategy.
you got to do it right when he shoots it. So every time right when he shoots it, you get under it every time.
Shit, okay. Can we wait for
The
his
problem
third
is
phase?
it's hard to tell when he's going to go for it.
Because he does no indication, yeah.
The issue is that this is hard to do on reaction, and dying and getting a game over here means redoing an entire gauntlet of insane stuff. In the end, our boss lineup was as follows: Bomb Man, Iceman, 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 Elec Man, Fireman, Gutsman, Cutman, Yellow Devil, Cutman, Elec Man, Mimic Tier Mega Man, Mimic Tier Mega Man, Bubble Things, Bomb Man, Fireman, Iceman, Gutsman, Wily Phase 1, and Wily Phase 2, meaning we killed 21 bosses over the course of our 6-hour playthrough of the game. Immediately afterward, we started Mega Man 2, but you'll have to wait until next Friday to hear more about that. To finish out this video, let's talk about whether this will make my top 100 of the 80s list or not. My friend's final thoughts on Mega Man are as follows.
Gutsman and Bomb Man are good bosses, and I think everything else is just like okay.
Yellow Devil makes this game unplayable in my opinion. Like
Yellow Devil's very bad.
Without this being like in this format, absolutely lovely. I like being able to save it and be able to play the areas again and again, rewind. Absolutely amazing. Makes the game actually really fun and enjoyable in that regard. If I had to play this game without that, the moment I got to the Yellow Devil, I would have stopped playing.
Now that you say that, I think I did stop playing when I played it originally because I was like, how the hell are you supposed to do this?
Yeah.
I just didn't have the time.
Because the fact that you'd get to the Yellow Devil, lose, and then have to go through all that shit again just to get to him again to get a chance to try to learn whatever that bullshit is, it's such absolute garbage. Let alone if you even get past that mega fighting yourself with this like really, he has like twice as much HP and deals twice as much damage. And he can just walk up to you and rub his face against you until you die. It's just garbage.
For me, Mega Man will make my top 100 of the 80s list in the blue category. I put games on my various top 100 lists in the blue or red category, with blue meaning the game will be first in line to be cut as I finish other better games. It's possible Mega Man will make it low on the final top 100 list, but it is also possible that of the 59 games I still want to play from the 80s, they could replace all of the 31 games I have listed in the blue category right now on the list. This means this could be the last time I talk about the first Mega Man game outside of my final ranking of all the games in the franchise later on down the line and my ranking of every Capcom game I've ever played. So should you play it? I actually do think it's fun in a couch co-op context, like how my friends and I played. Otherwise, I think it is skippable, especially if you have limited time. Mega Man feels great to play, and the only thing about it that feels aged are some of the rough edges of the game's programming, lack of saving, and clear anti-rent design. And that's the video, my guys. What do you think of Mega Man? Let's discuss it in the comments below, and while you're there, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It's the only way to make sure you don't miss out on my future work. If you'd like to help out the channel further, the super thanks is below, and if you have a moment right now, consider checking out some of my other videos on the screen. Regardless of what you choose to do, thank you for keeping it real with Rayl Deal Games. Have an awesome day, my friend.